Hey everybody, it's Mike here with Mike's Drones and More, guys, and today is our Sunday live Q&A. So just want to say hello to everybody, and hope we get some viewers here that are coming on, and we'll have a nice discussion and everything like that, and see what everybody's up to. So while I'm waiting for some viewers to join on the live Q&A here, I'll go over some updates and things that have been happening over the last week here. So I'm still waiting on my ESCs and my motors for this build here. I checked the last time I checked, and the motors are getting closer, but they are still extremely slow, and I haven't been able to get here. But I did hook up the Foxier camera. This is the one I got in the drone drop last month, and I've hooked up the flight board, and I've actually already programmed it in beta flight for the most part, as much as I could. I still have to wire up the ESCs and everything like that. I also went ahead and I wired up my receiver, so that is ready to go. And I also wired up all the other things that needed to be wired up and soldered up. So just waiting on the ESCs and the motors, so that way I can put this bad boy together and get him out and fly this one. So this one, hopefully the motors, I mean, it's been almost a freaking month. And so I should have just paid the extra shipping cost, but you know, whatever. Hey, it's all good. So still waiting on that. Yesterday I did go out and I went drone racing with the other guys, drone racing. And I got to fly this little guy for the very first time. So this was the red one. And it actually flies very, very nice. Very, very smooth. And you can see I've done a couple of modifications on it. So I changed the antennas. So I kind of fed them up through here. And then I just used the zip tie. And then I basically shrink wrapped the zip tie with some heat shrink around both of these. So that way they'd stay nice and steady there. So that way if they do flip or hit or something like that. And then also, you guys remember I was having some trouble with the VTX. I wasn't sure where to mount it or anything like that. So what I actually did was I actually already modded this one. On the top plate there, I just took my sharpest drill, and I went ahead and I just made a small hole just big enough to where the VTX could pop through, and then I've just mounted it on there, and it actually works out really good, and I've still got plenty of room to put my action camera and put that on top. So I'm going to be testing this one. I was hoping I could get out this weekend and fly it maybe later today and see how it does. I did race it yesterday for the very first time, and I gotta tell you, this thing was really good. Now, I did have to adjust the camera angle because it was way pointing up, and all I could see was the sky. So just had to narrow it down so that way I could actually see where I was flying. But other than that, it took the corners really nice. It was really smooth, and I just really liked the way this one flew. It was really, really nice. So hopefully I can get some FPV footage for you guys coming up and things like that on this red build. This thing is just a little monster. On the 4S, it runs great. On a 3S, it runs good too. It runs on 3S and 4S really, really, really nice. I like the way it performed yesterday. It was just freaking phenomenal. I did fly the purple one mainly yesterday because I didn't want to, I wanted to use this really as my backup just in case, because I really haven't gotten time to really like break it in or anything like that. So yeah, so this one definitely is a winner. I love this drone. It's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back over here. So let's see what other updates. This last Wednesday went to our normal Tiny Whoop, and if you guys were tuning in Wednesday night, I did a live from the Moxie Theater where we flew the Tiny Whoops, so that was pretty cool. That's a really cool event. I'm actually working on a local venue here in town called the Wild Game. It's kind of like a if you guys know what a Dave & Buster's is, it's basically like an adult Chuck E. Cheese kind of, but so they have all kinds of like games and stuff like that, and it's a really cool place. So I'm working on them. John C., hi, how's it going? So yeah, so working on those guys to get a new venue, hopefully. Otherwise, we'll just continue going to our normal place or wherever we can fly at. Let's see what else. Yesterday, I flew with my left-hand antennas for the first time, so I got to use my Emax antennas. They're over there. I'm not going to grab them, but they did really good. I had some video issues yesterday, and the reason was because this VTX was not mounted. I kind of just had it basically kind of glued right up in here, and after the first time I hit just barely something, the antenna came loose and I lost signal. So I was having some issues getting the antenna to stay still. That's why I drilled it out, and I just put my own antenna mounting hole up there, and it's working just fine, nice and steady. So yeah, so pretty happy about that. So other than that, yeah, I think I did pretty good. I got some footage from yesterday, and I actually I got the DVR to work finally on the eSheen goggles. Unfortunately, I forgot to hook up the cord from the DVR to the goggles. So it just recorded all in black, but I did get some other footage as well. So hopefully that will turn out. And like I said, hopefully later today, got a little bit of sunlight out, I can take it out to the park and really rip it around and just see how it does. But yesterday it did really good. This one, the red one, actually, I got my best lap times and the most laps with this drone here yesterday, which was really, really nice. So, and I'm using those stock King Kong propellers that came with it. And I gotta admit, these stock King Kong brand propellers, they actually work really good, and it's really super quiet, surprisingly, and they're very durable. So they didn't get eat up too much or anything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with these stock ones for now on this, because it's rock solid. I really like this drone a lot. It's really, really nice. So let's see. So I think that's all I've got for updates. Anything coming up here? Normal Tiny Whoop race next week. Next month, hey Herbert, how's it going? Herbert's one of my patrons. So next month, hopefully, they've got a event coming up in Denver, and it's called the Wings Over Rockies. It's a airplane, basically airplane museum, or air museum. So I'm just bringing up my channel really quick, guys. So that way I can see all the chat and questions that are coming up on the channel here. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. So yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. It's $25 to register for next month, and that's they've got they're going to do a line of sight pylon race. They're going to do a tiny whoop race, and I think they're going to be doing some other kind of drone race too. So that's kind of cool and exciting. So I can't wait to check that out. Thinking about registering for that. So let's see. Trying to think of some other things. I think that's really about it. So I'm going to get to Herbert's question real quick here. Herbert's one of my patrons, so he always gets top priority. So Herbert, let's see here. Do I know anything about Spectrum? I don't use Spectrum myself. I use FR Sky. That's the radio and transmitters that I like. So I can't really answer too many questions about Spectrum, but I can just answer general stuff for you. If you have a general question, I could definitely do that. That's not a problem at all. So go ahead and put your question in there, and I'll see if I can answer it for you. If I can't answer it, I know a lot of the other pilots that I fly with, they do fly Spectrum, so I can always get the answer for you, and then I can always make sure to send you a message directly and get back with you guys. So let's get back with John. So what would I recommend with a first-time flyer of P3 standards? So you're talking about the DJI Phantom 3. So if you are a first-time flyer, definitely I recommend staying low and just practicing your hovering. If you guys go back, you can see some of the videos I did. If you search my videos, there is... Oh, okay, yeah. So Fly Savage is one of the guys that I fly with. He's actually part of the FOCO FPV, and he runs a hobby shop as well. So he will be able to answer your question, Herbert. So pop that in there, and then he can definitely do that. So you built a 210 drone, and you cannot get it to arm. That could be a number of different things why it's not arming. I'm having the same problem with the Space One FPV right now that I'm troubleshooting. I'm not sure if it's actually the ESCs. I have to hook it up to Betaflight and check it out and see. Yep, and then Fly Savage, you'll be able to help him with that. He's really, I think Fly uses I think he uses Spectrum. And if you guys haven't checked out his channel as well, check out Fly Savage's channel. He does all kinds of micro FPV stuff. So check out, he's got some really sweet videos. And hopefully sometime soon, I've actually got spring break off this next week, Fly. So we've got to get out. I told Nick that we've got to get out and we got to do some flying up by you guys, definitely for sure, if we can. So I know it's going to be a busy week for me because we've got all kinds of stuff around the house that we need to get done, but definitely we're going to make some time to do some flying for sure, and hopefully we'll get an interview in with him. And I'm also working on a project with Matt Roper from the Other Guys FPV. That's the other chapter that I fly with, and hopefully we'll be doing a collaboration video with him as well. So yeah, definitely, I'm looking forward to it as well. Oh, and I have a kit coming in the mail to me. It is a 2-inch racer, so it's a DIY kit, guys, that I got, and I'm going to be building that. So I'll be doing a video on that. That's probably going to be another week or so before it gets here, but I'll definitely do a build video for you, and then we'll go and fly it and everything like that. And then so that's pretty cool. And I also have on order, I'm going to be building a brushless Tiny Whoop, because I know a lot of you guys are into the Tiny Whoops, but you want a little bit more power. So I've decided I'm going to build a brushless Tiny Whoop as well. So I'm looking forward to those couple things. So I'm going to go back to the questions here. So let's see here. So the unknowns, he says, what are some good upgrades for the ProMark P70, if there are any? So, haven't done many videos on the ProMark for a while, but there's quite a few upgrades that you can do with it. So, you can go back and watch some of my videos. Like, you can upgrade, and you can change out the camera, and you can put, like, a action camera, one of these on, or like a GoPro under the bottom of it. You can do that. You can put bigger landing gear on it. So, the old landing gear is kind of like that. The new landing gear is kind of wider, so that way you can actually see, and the camera can actually see a nice wide open shot, and you don't get the legs in the camera. You can also upgrade the props on it. There's a few other things that you can check out that I've done a whole series of videos on that for you. So definitely check all that stuff out, guys. So I'm going to swipe. Somebody did a comment on Facebook. So, but I'm going to take a drink of some iced tea real quick. There we go. Okay. So let's see here. Did anybody else have any questions for me, or any updates, or anything that you guys wanted me to answer? I hope you guys liked the build video that I did for this last week. Like I said, this thing is just a freaking beast. I really love this little drone. It's really freaking awesome. So yeah, so I'm going to definitely be doing a whole bunch of videos on that. I got to test out, I'm going to put an action camera on it to make sure how it looks with the action camera. And then I got to do an FPV video for you guys so you can see what the FPV looks like. But yeah, it's just a sweet drone. It's really nice. Responds really well. So that was definitely worth it. So Dennis Wolf, he wanted to know, where do I buy my drone kits? So I buy them overseas, a lot of my drone kits, but I'm actually going to be working with one of my viewers. Hopefully he will watch this video, Mike Anderson Crabtree. So Mike is working with me with one of his suppliers, and hopefully I'll actually be able to get some kits from them. And they are in the U.S. They have a eBay store that they build drones, but they also sell their kits online and stuff like that. So a lot of the kits that I buy, I get them from I buy them from Banggood, and I also get them from GearBest. So this one here specifically, I got this one from Banggood, and I think on the Banggood website it runs either depending on which version you get, it's like either 106 or 112 bucks. Comes with the frame, the motors, the ESCs. It comes with the power distribution board, the flight board. So basically all you got to do is you got to get a camera, a VTX, and a receiver, and pretty much you're done. It even comes with the props as well. So, I mean, for 110 bucks, it's a really nice kit. I was really impressed with it. So I might actually buy another one of these and just have it as a spare backup. So we'll see. So, but let's get back to the next question. So let's see. Drone Review Man, he says, I lost my SD card and gave up and got a new $10 one. Yeah. Did you lose it like when you were racing or something, or when the drone was up in the air or something like that? So let's see. And Herbert says, by the way, he loves his Phantom 2 and it's great with the GoPro Hero 3. Oh yeah. So, Herbert, you were telling me about that, right? You got the Phantom 2 with the GoPro and the whole kit and everything like that. So I'm glad that's working out for you. The Phantoms are absolutely awesome drones. I love DJI drones, and I really wish that DJI actually made a racing drone. I know you can use some of their stuff to make a racing drone, but I really think if they got into the market, I think they would be some of the top of the line. They'd probably be a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones, but I think they could really do some cool things in the racing drone world, because they're just commercial drones and regular drones. I mean, they're top of the line. Nobody can touch them. So, but that's what I like about racing drones. Racing drones, really, you can make them your own. I mean, you can buy the kit, but really you can kind of just really customize them to however you want. You can switch the parts out. You know, it's kind of like racing drones and like DJI drones are kind of like, I think about racing drones as kind of like a Windows, and like DJI is like a Mac, right? So where Windows, you can kind of interchange, you can swap things, you don't have to buy Apple stuff, where Mac, you know, you have to buy Mac stuff basically that goes just for the Mac. So I don't know, that's just my impression. That's the only way I can really explain it to you guys. So all right, cool. So let's see if there was any other questions here. I think Herbert was the last person to post a question. Yep. So did anybody else have any questions for me? Like I said, I had really a blast yesterday flying with the other guys, and I'm going to be working with Matt Roper really soon here on a collaboration video with him. He's with Team Defiance, and he goes to a lot. He's sponsored by Cobra Motors, and I believe he is also sponsored by OAS Hobby, I think. I'm not sure, but I know for sure Cobra Motors, he's sponsored by them. So they're always sending him cool stuff, and he's got some really nice builds that he makes, as well as Byron Thurston. He does some really awesome builds as well. So so let's see, the unknowns. He goes, I posted a second question up a little bit about a battery. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me go up there and I will find your question. Let me scroll through here. Oh, there we go. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I didn't see that question. So, is there a bigger battery for it? So, there are some bigger batteries out there for it, but you got to be careful for the P70 because the huge batteries for it, they're not going to fit in the back of the compartment unless you kind of really do some custom stuff where you cut it out and things like that. And it uses the banana plugs, but I mean, you can change out that to whatever you wanted to. So if you really wanted to, you could change it out to an XT60. You just got to make sure that it's the right voltage. So the P70 runs on 7.4 volts, so it can't be any bigger than a 2S. It's just set up for that. And then the stock, I can't remember what the stock battery, let me grab it here. I think the stock battery was, 2,000 milliamp. This is the battery that I modded for the goggles. So yeah, the stock is 2,000 milliamp, 7.4, and I know I have seen these up to 2,300 milliamps. So you can check those out. They got them on like GearBest, Banggood. You can find them on Amazon, eBay. There's all kinds of places you can find those batteries. So again, you just have to make sure it's a 2S, so it's a 7.4 volt, and just the 2000 is the stock. But 2300, you're not going to get a whole lot of extra time. So you're not going to be looking at like a DJI, where a DJI can get like 20 minutes worth of flight time. You're probably going to be still staying right around 10 to like 15 minutes at the most with that. It's just, they just don't make the batteries for it, and it's got the brushed motor, so they have to work even harder to keep it up in the air. With the brushless, they don't use as much battery power, and they're a lot better motors. So I hope that makes sense for you. All right, and Herbert said wanted to know if I'm going to be coming to Savannah, Georgia anytime. So I know my son, my second oldest son, lives down in Georgia, and he's going to be graduating this year. So I'm trying, if I can, to get out there. I think he lives near, I think it's somewhere north, that was my cat, north of Atlanta, somewhere right around there. So last time I was down in Georgia, I was near Peachtree, and I don't know if that's anywhere close to Savannah. I think Peachtree City is close to, it's just like south of Atlanta, I think. I'm not sure, I'm not familiar, but I would love to come visit Georgia again. I just don't want to come there in the summertime, because when I went there in the summertime, it was awful. The humidity was absolutely unbearable. So, okay, 275 miles. Okay, so that's a little bit. Is Savannah, is it down in the south of Georgia, or is it up north? I just, like I said, I don't know that state too well. So, and I also have some family in North Carolina, so I'd always love to go to North Carolina. South. Okay. So, yeah, if I ever make my way to Georgia, and maybe I would love to come and visit each and every one of you. I think that would be super fun, especially my patrons. So, let's go back to questions here. So, did anybody have any more questions for me or anything like that? Like I said, next week is spring break, so hopefully I will be doing a whole bunch of videos for you guys and updates. I think one that I'm really going to work on for you guys, I know everybody's been asking for it, is I'm finally going to go ahead and do a teardown video of the ProMark Shadow drone, because I know everybody has been asking me to do the teardown video for that, and I've just been so busy with drone racing and making my videos and stuff like that. I just haven't had a chance to get to it, but hopefully I'll get one in on that one, guys. Working on Boulder a few days. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me know if you're in what days you're in Boulder, and depending on the weather too, Fly. I know like Monday they said it's supposed to be nice in the morning, and then I think it's supposed to get like crummy in the afternoon, and then like possibly rain snow mix Monday through Tuesday. So it's like in the 70s today, and then tomorrow it's going to be like possibly rain and like snowing. So that's how Colorado is. Like the weather always changes. So yeah, I love Colorado, but the weather just changes constantly, and yeah. So Tuesday and weekday for sure, maybe Friday. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's definitely, we got to get together. I'll talk to Nick too, because I know Nick works a lot, but hopefully we can all get together and definitely do some flying. So, because I want to get this little guy out again and rip it around. So Wednesday, okay. Wednesday, we'll see what we can do. So yeah, for sure. And then this is my my only 2-inch micro that I have right now is this this little purple one. But I've got another kit that's coming. I'm going to be building another one, and I don't want to tell you which one it is yet, guys, because it's going to be a surprise for that video when that comes out. So, yeah. Yeah, this is actually a really awesome. You can actually fly this on a. I've got a 2S, and it will fly on a 3S. And I use the what is it? The Tattoo. I got one over here somewhere. Yeah, here they are. So on this one, I use the Tattoo 3S, the 450cc, or not cc, the 450 milliamp 45C, and this gives me about close to 4 to 5 minutes worth of time. It's pretty decent, not too bad. It's the JST connector, so I've been thinking about converting all my micros to the JST 60. I've heard that gives you a better better flight time and better battery. So yeah. Oh, and you got some Beta FPV 450s. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, that'd be cool. Yeah, this one just uses like a battery strap underneath. So, but yeah, I think definitely I could check those out for sure. So that would be cool. So, but this one is a fun little one to rip up in the air. It uses those gem fan little blades, and the motors on this one, they're 1103 7500 motors. So this thing, it hauls. It's really fun. It's got a dipole antenna on it, so I'm going to be ordering a one of the other antennas. I'm going to order the cloverleaf for it, because it's got one of those ones where you can just pop the little connector onto the board directly, and then I can just take that dipole off. Because the dipole, you get too far away, and then it starts like losing its signal. It's not the best dipole in the world, but it does work. This actually originally used to have those little like praying mantis legs that kind of sat right here, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I took those off, and I kept the guards on here. I know it adds a little bit more weight, but it's nice in case you crash, because these things, well, you probably know with the micros, these little tiny props, if you crash really hard, I mean, they're not going to survive in a crash. So Fly knows all about the micros, so that'll be cool. So let's see. Anybody else have any questions or updates for me? So I kind of wanted you guys' opinion on what you want to see video-wise coming up. I know we're getting really close also to 4,000 subscribers. I think I'm at close to 3,900 subscribers, so we are really a brushless whoop. Yes, I am actually, I've got motors on the way, and I've got the flight controller on the way, and then I'm going to be using the Beta FPV, what is it, the Beta FPV 75 Pro frame to hook that up on, and then probably just use a FR Sky receiver just like usual, but that's on its way, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I'll probably order a custom canopy from Jesse up at Tiny Whoop, and then just go pick it up from him. So yeah, I think that's gonna be really cool. Dwayne, hi, how's it going, man? So good to see you. So I'm about to pull the trigger and order parts. We should collaborate. Absolutely, yes. Let's collaborate on a freaking brushless whoop video. I think that would be really, really cool. So yeah, I've been really wanting to do a brushless whoop. Now you can't fly the brushless whoops with the multi-GP. You can only use the brushless ones. So these little guys, but you can use the 75s, but they have to be brushless motors to race in the multi-GPs. But I think a brushless whoop would be really cool, just so I can go and fly in the backyard, and you can also fly inside as well. So doing really good. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely, I will for sure. So, and then you know, if I like it a lot, maybe I might just build another one. So we'll see. Just all depends and stuff like that. And again, I'm still waiting on my motors for this thing. So the color of the motors, they're actually going to be like a lime green color. And then the ESCs are just going to sit here. And then, so I was thinking I'll do probably black props with the green motors, and then this blue camera, and that'll give it a kind of a really cool, different kind of look. I'm really looking forward to this. This is that all-in-one flight controller that GearBest sent me to do the review on, and just still waiting for the motor. As soon as the motors and the ESCs come in, I can get those soldered up. That is not going to take me very long at all. And then I can get this thing going, and we can fly it, guys, and show you what it's all about. So I'm really, really super excited. Just waiting for the parts to come in. Isn't that usually how it always works, is you're always waiting for parts to come in. So that's usually how it is. So so Fly was saying, I was saying about multi-GP, just wait a few months and there will be a, you know what, I think that would be cool. I think if they did a brushed and then a brushless, I think that would be really cool. I think they could do like obviously, I don't know how well a brushed or a brushless whoop would do against a 2-inch micro. I mean, I just don't know how it would do up against it. But I think if they had two different classes of the tiny whoops, if they had the smaller one and then a bigger tiny whoop class, I think that would be really cool. I think that's something they could definitely do, because the brushless ones are getting a lot more popular. A lot more people are building them because they want more power. Because these little brushed motors, they don't last very long, honestly. You're going to get maybe, I don't know, what do you think, Fly? With the brush motors, you get what, 5-6 hours on these little guys, especially these tiny whoops, when you're racing and stuff like that, because you're putting these motors under such like so much, and yeah, you're definitely working them quite a bit. So, and I ordered some more commander hooks so I can hang up more of my FPV stuff on the wall and stuff like that. So I'll put some pictures up when I've got that done. So let's see, races, I have got about 10 hours, that's all. Some 10 hours for a build, or 10 hours, I'm not sure what you mean, Ray. So could you maybe let me know more information on that? If you guys hear some wrestling in the background, that's my wife's ferrets. They're playing in their playpen right now. Oh, on the motors. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, maybe max 10 motors at 10 hours at the most. So you're always, but luckily those motors are pretty inexpensive and cheap, so which is nice. So let's see. That's doing good for those. Yeah, that's doing really good. Usually, I think typically my last set of special sauce motors that I ordered from Tiny Whoop, I think they lasted like 6 or 7 hours. I got that out of them. So, but I fly every week, and I fly multiple heats with these things with multiple batteries. So I put these motors under a lot of pressure and a lot of heat. So, but they're definitely fun. And this one flew great this week over at the Moxie Theater. It did freaking awesome. So, in it, the red one, I don't know what was going on with the motors or anything like that. It just wasn't performing as well. So I might have to take a look at it and see what was going on with it. But maybe the motors are starting to wear down on them. I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, those are definitely really cool. So I still have the Fury Bee H801. Here's what's left of it. So I'm deciding what I'm going to do with this. I think I might build another tiny Hoover with this one because it's got the bigger motors on it. Just to kind of see, because I don't fly this one as much, and it's kind of just been sitting around, so I'd like to use those motors in that flight board for something different for another project. So, but if you guys are watching this video afterwards, if you want something, me to build something specifically, or a specific video that you guys want to see, something like that, leave it in the comments for me, guys, because I do read those comments and I take those comments into effect. So when you tell me what you want to see, what you want me to build, that gets me the feedback that I need to know to build the channel. So, and when we hit 4,000 subscribers here soon, we're going to do another drone giveaway, but that's going to be probably a little while before we get there, at least probably another month or so, and I'm going to try and do a really good giveaway this time. And then when we hit 5,000 subscribers, oh, you're welcome, Dwayne, definitely. So yeah, definitely the Facebook group, I'm in that group, and the creator of the Tiny Hoover, I think his name is, I forget, he's in the UK. He makes the kit, and he's really cool. He's a nice guy and answers all your questions, so he's really cool. And I think that would be cool to do some Hoover racing too, if they could do like a multi-GP class for something like that, but I don't know if that qualifies as like quadcopters or if that's a whole nother thing. So, but all right, so we're at like 33 minutes, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down the live Q&A for today. So if you didn't get a chance to ask your question, or you're watching after and you have a question for me, go ahead and put it down in the comments below, guys. If you like the channel, if you like my Q&As, go ahead and hit the like button for me, guys. That really helps out the channel. And you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button down below. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll get a little bell. The bell just lets you know when we have new videos, and I'm doing videos now every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and every other Sunday we have our live Q&A video, just like today. And if you haven't, if you can, support the channel. If you want to check out my Patreon channel or Patreon account, you can. I've got some really cool stuff, like I always make sure to mention all of my patrons in every video to thank them so much for supporting the channel and keeping that going. So thank you guys, as always. I appreciate it. Also, they get some special things too. So they always get access to my videos. I put my videos up an hour usually before it releases out on YouTube. So just only the patrons will get access to my video before everybody else. So that's kind of a cool little thing. And sometimes I ask them certain questions, like when I was building this red one, the patrons got to choose the name that I made this particular aircraft, which is the Frankenroach. So they got to choose that. So they get lots of special different things. So definitely, if you can, check out my Patreon channel, guys. So that's all I've got for this week, guys. And yeah, Fly, thank you. And definitely we'll keep in contact this week on Facebook. And we'll figure out a time we can fly together for sure. So guys, that's all I got for today. So while you're waiting for my next video, let's keep our drones up in the air and flying high. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for hanging out and have an awesome day.